I don't know what to say. So, this video, if the title or whatever hadn't said enough, or whatever, it's about X-Men. Um, I found a few images of House of X number 5. I know probably shouldn't be overreacting right now, but I tried letting this go. I tried listening to some music, just, try to take my mind off of it. But I've never seen a company be so clueless about its characters as much as Marvel is with X-Men. And I understand that Marvel, they want to bank off the MCU. They want to promote Avengers and everything else, all their other, like, oh, you have Avengers, you have the Marvel Netflix characters getting comics, you have this, you have that. Anything that's not X-Men Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has been doing decently by Dan Slott when it came back I think in January. Um, X-Men had problems with Uncanny, but the Uncanny run, but this is just, it's mind-blowing. And so what's going on here is I've read the first issue of House of X number 1. I know about some of the major spoilers and stuff. About some of the twists, like the Moira twist and stuff. I won't spoil, but I don't really care about this book anymore, so I may as well just spoil it. I don't know. I probably won't. So, the X-Men, they already did this weird thing with pod people, that there were these little pods and there were mutants coming out of it. You see naked Cyclops and Jean Grey and naked Wolverine and whoever the fuck else coming out of these pods. So that was already one thing. The book has been like treating it, oh, they're setting up a nation and all this other stuff. It's just, it just seems like the X-Men, the way I've always seen X-Men through the cartoons and movies at least, and from what I know about the characters, they've always been about equality. They've always been about equality. So this book has been they've been acting like a cult. They've been acting like a cult. They've been like, they're like almost like they're under mind control or under some hive mind or something. That was already freaky enough. There was barely any character that was acting normal throughout the book, or acting not like cult like. So that was already bad enough. And then the book just seems like, from based on what I'm hearing and stuff, it seems like I don't know, it seems like they just want superiority now. They want superiority. They don't care about humans. They go treating, I don't know, it just seems, I understand that the mutants have gone through stuff over the years from humans. It's just, they're acting, like I said, they're acting like a cult. The whole thing seems like they're two-way, like, they're already saying, like, they want to have stuff, like, global. And it seems like it's like it's like based on what I'm about to read this off here, it seems like they're 2 steps away from becoming, like, human killing Nazis or something. It just is crazy. So this here is from the book. I had to cut out some stuff because the first page had the main X-Men naked, and I don't want to have to deal with any, like, video getting taken down for nudity or something, even though they were mostly covered. Okay, so she says, by the power that is their birthright, these five have returned. These mutants thought lost to us, their family, and to this place their home. I see them, do you? And then they're like chanting, they're going, we see them, but do we know them? So, and then she goes, what is your name? Cyclops Scott Summers. And how do I know it's you, brother? Once I thought I was strong, a leader of the mutants, and then you showed me what strong was. I learned it, and she says, I learned it watching you. This is my brother, I know him, as do you. Yes, his name is Cyclops, but he's more than that. What is he? Mutant. See how they're raising their palms? They're acting like this is like getting close to being like Nazi cult. It's freaky. And she says, what is your name? Marvel Girl Jean Grey, and how do I know it's you, Jean? She says, and I learned tonight it was a callback to an old comic. Oh, I'm the only me that ever was, Aurora. So, this is my sister. I know as do you. Yes, her name is Jean Grey, but she's more than that. What is she? Mutant. Like, mutant. I have no idea who this girl is. What is your name? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the whole thing is like they're already... It's like, I'm just saying, this is just the way I would be fine with some of this if they didn't seem... It seems like they're turning them into villains. I would be fine if they, like, them having their own island and doing, and, like, producing stuff and whatnot. I mean, it just seems... This doesn't seem like the X-Men. They don't act like the X-Men. They act like... It just seems like some cult. And it just... I'm hoping in another issue or two, because, I mean, the X-Men have never been about superiority or about who's greater. They just wanted equality. That was what Charles Xavier had taught them. Unless from all of the movies and shows and whatnot, unless I got that wrong, that was what he taught them. It wasn't about... A friend of mine, or someone I talked to earlier about this, said that they're essentially becoming the way Magneto was in the first issues of X-Men. And it's just disappointing, because, I mean, I tried. Because last year I tried getting into X-Men with Uncanny, and Uncanny ended up being crap. I tried with House of X. Everybody everywhere was praising it for some reason. Everybody everywhere was praising it. Like, all the reviewers, like anybody, like, big in the know-how, people who got early copies of the book, and I thought, hey, this book will be the resurgence. This will be the push, the resurgence that X-Men needs. Honestly, granted, I haven't fully read issues of Avengers vs. X-Men or Inhumans vs. X-Men. I know that in both of those stories they tried painting mutants and X-Men being in the wrong or being the bad guys, but people rooted for them anyways. I think this is like, some have said, like, oh, Avengers vs. X-Men was bad. Inhumans vs. X-Men was bad. I'm starting to think this is worse, because this, at least in those two books, I don't even know why I'm defending those two books, because those two books were shit, but at least in those two books, they were heroes, that you could root for them. I can't root for these characters. I can't root for them. And the only reason, as I said, the only reason why I'm going at 4 a.m. in the morning talking about this, because I found out about this a couple hours ago, because I stay up late. But the only reason why why I'm talking about this is because literally everybody, just about everyone on Twitter that is talking about this book, none of them are saying how wrong this is. They're all praising this. They're all wanting mutants to, like, take over the world or end humanity or something. I mean, I'm team mutant I'm Team Mutant. It's just I'm sorry, this is painting them out to be villains. I mean, this is just, it's like with other real world like discriminatory stuff, and that's what makes me sad. I'm trying not to cry because it's a freaking comic book, but I mean, not that comic books are bad or anything. It's just when you take the real world discriminatory stuff, it seems that the only two options is either equality amongst everyone, or if somebody constantly gets like dealing with discriminatory racism, homophobia, all of that, all of those horrible things, that it seems the way that this book is painted is like the only way they can be equal, or that they could not be judged or hunted down or anything like that, is by like being superior, being above whatever. And there's like that's another thing that makes me upset about it, is there has to be another way. There has to be another way. And I mean, I should have known, because Jonathan Hickman, I've seen interviews and stuff, and he just, based on what I've heard from people and based on what I've seen with some of the stuff, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him. And I was rooting for him, and it just, some have said he's very pretentious. He thinks like no matter what he writes that it's above everybody else's, and that he like always writes the best and always does the best. And it just, I'm just waiting. I probably even won't even fucking bother now, because it seems this is twice now. This is twice now that I was supposed to be like getting into current X-Men books. This is twice now. I ignored the stuff from, I think, 2014, or when I started reading comics was 2016. I ignored the stuff from 2016 up until the stuff, I don't even think X-Men, I don't even know if they had much of an ongoing at that point. I think they had one book. But I ignored most of that stuff up until Uncanny X-Men #1 by it was Matthew Rosenberg, Kelly Thompson, and Ed Brisson. Supposedly all three. I don't know who wrote what, but that was supposed to be the deal. And I read the first issue. I thought it was okay, but I got out of it. I couldn't really get into it. I tried, but I couldn't. Um, I wanted to make. I found images so I could see previews and stuff, just to make sure they weren't going to screw this up if they were trying to get me invested in it. So I tried, and I tried with that, and it sucked. I tried with House of X. It wasn't bad, but it's not X-Men. It's not X-Men at all, and I'm I'm mortified. I'm mortified that literally everyone everyone on Twitter is fine with this. Is fine with this. I'm shocked. I'm stunned that this is, everybody just seems to be fine with this. Um so I don't even know like when the next relaunch, and they're gonna retcon this. I don't trust CB Kabolski, like even with Hickman's multi-year deal, as soon as that deal's over with and X-Men are in the MCU, Kabolski's gonna reboot. They're gonna relaunch. They're going to snub this. And it's not just because I hate this book. I know they're going to do it because they've done that with everything else. Everything else. They might go and say, they might go and end up saying that maybe this was all a dream, or something, or alternate timeline. There's been hints, in all fairness, there has been hints that um that Moira, something about an 11, well, that's going into spoiler territory. Spoiler territory. If you don't want to hear, even though y'all probably already know what the fuck's going on, I'm just gonna say it anyways because I don't care. I really don't care. So Moira was something they revealed that she's not. Moira was the Scottish scientist friend of Charles Xavier. Up until this book, she had always been portrayed as a human. This book revealed that she's a mutant. Her mutant ability is something to do that whenever she dies, she is reborn again as a baby and has to live. She can change her life. She's not stuck living the same life. So it's like, and she has done different things in her all her lives. And she's in the 10th life right now. There was something about a hint that there would be an 11th life for her if she played her cards right. Maybe that will fix all this shit. I don't know. It's just, I mean, it may be a bit much to say this, but I mean, I don't think if they're especially if they're gonna end it with this, if they're gonna end it with it like this and not have some it's all a dream or reset timeline or something, um, I'm gonna say it now that I think I think um I think Stan Lee would have been, and I know it's a bit much for me to say this, but I mean I've seen enough of him where I would know. I've seen enough of the videos and stuff of him, and this isn't it, Chief. This isn't it, and I feel, I won't say I know because I never knew him personally, but I feel if, especially if they end it with this, he would be greatly disappointed. This was not, and I understand writers had different takes, but they always understood the fact that it was like the discrimination allegories and stuff, and them wanting equality and not superiority. They just wanted to be equal. They just wanted to be equal. They just wanted to live normal lives without being in fear or shame or anything. They never had this goal of wanting to, like, just about conquer the world. They never had that. All I know, there's 3 issues left, 3 weeks, well, less than 20 days. 20 days, because there's new comics come out on Wednesdays and today's now Thursday, so 20 days. I could be wrong in 20 days, and there's a retcon, or there's some get out of jail free card. I don't know. I'm I'm just mad that it's come to this. I'm mad. I'm certainly mad because I had been holding these issues in my pull box at my local comic book store, and now I just, this book, I've had like all of this different crap has been like with characters, just all this different crap's been happening with characters I like. It's either like Wally. I had to deal with crap with Wally, with Heroes in Crisis earlier this year. Well, no, last year. It was last year, I think, when that. Well, it was this year, I think, when it wrapped up, but it was last year and this year. I don't know. There was crap with Nightwing, even though I kind of dropped the comic before the whole Rick Grayson crap happened. And now this. Literally, Daredevil is the only major thing that's still, to me, that's still worth getting, that's of a character that I like. Because this is just whatever. And I'm frustrated that And these House of X, Powers of X comics, they're not cheap. They're not $2.99. Issue ones are $6, and all of the issues that come out after are $5. And there's 3 issues left, and I have, let me see, I think 8 issues. Because I bought House of X #1. Burp there. Okay. I bought House of X #1, so that's one comic. And then there's supposed to be 12 issues overall. There's 3 remaining to come out. So 12 minus 3 is 9. I bought 1, so 9 minus 1 is 8. So there's 8 issues in my sushi box, or in my pull box, that I'm probably, because I don't even have much of a drive. I'll say this: the art is beautiful. I love the art. The art's, for the most part, is really nice. This isn't something I can support. But I mean, 8 issues, and 7 of them are $5. So you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and then you have, oh wow, that's actually less than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like $80 to get all these damn books. 35, and then the other issue that's $6, maybe $41. So that's $41. I want to support my local comic book shop. It's just I really didn't want to have to be that kind of guy who puts a bunch of books back that he was going to get, but then just puts back. I don't know. The guy who works there is very understanding. I think you'd understand. He's told me before that they've actually been doing good. So I don't think me putting back 8 issues will really harm his business. And I can always get other stuff. There's other stuff there I can get that have cool action, like old action figures, and a lot of old comics and stuff. So, and there's some DVDs, a small section of DVDs. So I mean, I can just do that. So I guess that'll be fine. So that'll be one less thing I have to deal with now. Um, but yeah, I think that about covers it. I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed because it seems for the longest time now, it seems ever since Disney bought out Marvel, I don't know what it is. It just seems, at least since 2012, Marvel just, I don't know, they just hate, it just seems that they hate X-Men now. They just want to push everything else. They tried pulling the same crap with Peter Parker, with Spider-Man, because they didn't own Peter Parker, and they tried, um, there was, for the longest time, there was very limited Spider-Man books. Um, Very limited Spider-Man books, and the only thing, I think for a while, the only thing Spider-Man had was uh, after issue 700 when Doc Ock took over his body, and then Peter and Doc Ock supposedly died or whatever. Um, that I think that was literally the only book that it was Superior Spider-Man, where it was Doc Ock, and that was the only thing, other than I think Miles. So now it's not a problem because now I guess Disney realized, hey, Spider-Man is actually, they got out of their dumb fog for a brief moment. They realized, hey, Spider-Man was a top selling, like that's the big one of the big heroes at Marvel. Let we shouldn't have Marvel, fuck this up. So like bring Spider-Man, like bring Peter Parker back. And then gradually as it went on, they've been giving him ongoings. There's some minis, miniseries, stuff like that. Um, I think the one character they managed to not fuck up during all of this, and they actually promoted him a lot when Fox was releasing his movies, is Deadpool. I've even noticed I don't think Deadpool has even appeared in any of these issues. I guess low key, I guess Rob Liefeld, I guess, was like, here, you can do this with the X-Men, keep Deadpool out of it. Because Deadpool's my creation. You keep Deadpool out of it. Maybe he told Hickman that. Maybe Hickman didn't have an interest. I don't see how Deadpool would really need to fit in the story, but who the hell knows? Um, so that's about it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just disappointed that they're turning. This was my favorite team, even though I never read the comics. I've watched the cartoons and I've seen the movies, and it's like even the movies knew not to do this because that's not. This isn't X-Men. This isn't X-Men, and even the cartoons. I haven't heard anything bad about any of them really. 90s X-Men had been pretty good. It was good, adaptation of the comics of that time. Evolution, people liked Evolution. Wolverine X-Men for a little bit was mixed, but people liked that too. Um, the only one that was average to me was the anime, but even then it was still got the message right. Um, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think now that I've done this video, I can usually whenever I get really frustrated about something, I usually calm down after I do a video about it. Um, so it's good for everybody all around. It's good for me because it just helps me get over to a degree get over the issue, and it's good for you guys because you get to hear me. You get content, you get free content, and you get to hear me. Unless you hate me hearing me bitch about stuff, you get to hear me bitch about stuff I don't like. Um, as for stuff, moving on to stuff that I'm gonna probably be doing with my channel, I have an idea. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to see if I can find enough maybe spooky themed PS4 games. I already have two. I'm thinking about getting a Resident Evil game while it's on clearance. So I'm thinking throughout October, I'm gonna have to look at the calendar later and see how many, if I do like Saturdays or whatever, how many Saturdays there would be, or whatever insert day. Um, I'm thinking once a week, every week in October, I'll do a live stream. It'll be like a spooky live stream because Halloween's coming up. Halloween be coming up by October. Do a spooky live stream, and each live stream would be like of one different spooky game. I'm thinking one week will be and it won't be a full playthrough of all of these. It'll just be one random like playthrough of it or live stream of it, and I get to talk to you guys and whatnot in the comments. But one week will be and I haven't made a plan yet of what games will be on which week. I'm just gonna say the games right now. One week will be Arkham Knight because I have that, and I'm actually going to be getting the currently right now the DLC pack. The season pass is on clearance for $10, and I'm going to be getting that hopefully tomorrow. And I'll have all the rest of the stuff. So one week will be Arkham Knight. I got this one game called Murdered Soul Suspect. There's actually a story behind that. The game was $2 on sale, and I got confused. I thought it was actually this other game called Hidden Agendas that I was gonna get for a family member that actually loves because it's kind of a murder mystery, and a family member actually loves murder mystery, so I know she'd love that. And I've showed her a playthrough of it before, by Berlizzi. Um, but one week will be Murdered Soul Suspect, and it's about this guy who's this kind of, I don't know, gumshoe detective. I guess he's like a detective or something, and he gets killed, and his ghost. He has to solve his murder so he can move on to the afterlife. The gameplay was average, but I figured if like, I still have the game. I haven't really played it since I got it because I really wanted it to be the other game that I wanted to get. But so yeah, Murdered Soul Suspect, that'll be another week. So that's two. I'm thinking, and let me know in the if any of y'all are still here, um, watching this whole thing, because we're already 30 minutes in. Um, I'll even write it in the description it too, so and everybody can see it if they haven't seen all, if y'all haven't seen all the way till now. Um, there are, let me see, one, two, three, four, five. There's six Resident Evil games. They're older games, but they're on clearance right now on the PlayStation 4 store or PlayStation Store. They are Resident Evil 0, the Resident Evil remake of the original, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil Revelations. I don't know if Revelations 2 is on sale. I'll have to look. So that's six games. I'm thinking about getting, I don't know about 4 because I already have 4 on the GameCube. But I'm thinking about getting one of these games. I don't know if I would be good at Resident Evil 0 or the Resident Evil remake. So it kind of comes down to 5, 6, and Revelations. Of course, I could just get 4 again. I don't know. 4 would, if I do get the PS4 version of 4, it would come with the extra content that I don't have on the GameCube version. But I digress. I don't know. Um, and another thing was the only other version I was wanting to get of Resident Evil 4 was the Wii version that had the motion controls, but I don't know. So let me know in the comments below what of those, which one you would like to see me play. I tried playing Code Veronica X once on PlayStation 2, but I didn't like the controls on it. I might have to invert something. I don't know. Um, but let me know in the comments um, what y'all would like to see. I could always see like another game I could do. I could do a stream of Arkham Asylum to help fill this all out for each week. I don't know. But I'm yammering on about everything. Um, let me know how y'all feel about this whole X-Men crap. This just has me as I've said many times before now, it just has me disappointed. I don't even think I can get into the next relaunch because I tried twice now and they've failed me both times. So, but enough about me. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about all of this bullshit and if they're actually going to go through with this or if they're going to do something else. I don't know. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that shit, all that stuff. Thank you all for joining me